Hello Nignogs, and welcome back to another video on the Tomdark channel. If I sound a little more frustrated right now than the subject material may lead you to believe, it's because I just recorded this video. It took me like 17 minutes to do straight. You know, I was just sitting in front of my fucking microphone recording. It was a good recording, you know, good takes of everything. Everything was perfect. I didn't even stutter or mumble that much. There wasn't even going to be that much editing that needed to be done. And then somehow something happened with my recording software and I fucking deleted it and now it's gone forever. And I want to do bad things, okay? I want to do bad things. FBI! Put this man in a straitjacket! He lost his audio! I am actually pretty fucking mad, okay? I'm kind of mad about it, but whatever. You know what? This is for the content. This is part of the suffering, okay? Whatever. I'm actually doing like a morning time recording right now, which is not normal for me. Okay, not morning, it's like 1 in the afternoon, but it feels like morning because I'm used to recording my videos past like 6 at night. Especially for this channel, I've been known to record by myself, not by anyone else, but I've been known to record videos later at night. Basically, I like get an idea for a video, maybe I've had it for a while, or maybe it just came to mind, and so I sit down and just talk about it for like 20 minutes. And then that gets edited down into a more condensed form of what I'm talking about with less rambling and just less of my own, like, personal autism. And what's left is a pretty digestible 12 to 13 minute video. Okay, maybe I exaggerated a bit there. I don't know if it's really, like, 7 minutes being cut off, but you get the idea. There's a lot that goes on in the cutting room floor, also known as my bedroom. Regardless of all that gay shit, the commentary community. It's the community, the genre, the space on YouTube in which my channel has kind of always resided. As a result, I've observed it pretty closely and watched it change over the last 4 or 5 years. You know, it's something that I find particularly intriguing. And it's weird to care about something so, like, stupid, right? Because at the end of the day, like, what is the commentary community? It's just a group of internet people and their viewers and you know, the people who want to have the viewers. It's just people who like to talk shit on the internet, but in a way, I do care about it. I interact with a lot of people who consider themselves to be commentators, and, you know, most people would call my channel a commentary channel, probably. At the end of the day, it's something I do spend time thinking about, and it's important for a number of reasons. Back in the day, Leafy was the big kahuna in town, right? He was the big boss, the boss hog. And since him, there hasn't really been a commentary channel that has reached the same level of infamy or, you know, real audience and influence that he really had. Almost 5 million subscribers is a huge fucking deal, and beyond that, the influence he had was much greater than his sub count would kind of lead you to entail, or lead you to believe, rather. Everyone on YouTube, from vloggers to gaming channels to toy reviewers, knew who Leafy was. Whether they liked him or didn't like him is, you know, kind of irrelevant. The dude was infamous at the end of the day. And what was he known for? Well, he was basically known for what I do on this channel, and the content here, as many have pointed out, is kind of reminiscent of Leafy's stuff, and that's entirely by design. You know, this is directly inspired by what he was doing. I would go back and watch his old videos while I would be editing my own stuff or just in my own free time. You know, I'd be making my coffee, and I'd be listening to his videos and I'd be like, you know, these were really good. I miss this kind of stuff. I feel like a lot of people unjustifiably shit on his old videos following the iDubbbz thing, and, you know, didn't really realize how captivating he kind of was as like a speaker. But he's gone, he's done, he's been destroyed and owned by the powers that be, to the point where he can't even really come back right now because YouTube will just terminate his account again. But in his absence, a lot of people have come around and tried to recapture some of his magic. His spirit is still with us. For a while, his fans were left without anyone watching them, but, you know, some people have tried to fill the shoes. I did a video about this around 2 years ago where I basically bullied people who tried to do what he was doing and called them fags for pretending to be Leafy and then getting mad when they're compared to him. Maybe that seems a little ironic given the nature of this channel. I have some arguments that are solid as to why there is a difference between, you know, what I'm doing and what they're doing and what he was doing. But at the end of the day, like, you know, you put the content side by side with that video, old Tom would probably bully the fuck out of new Tom. That's just how it is. Scrubby, Benji, and Aiden are who I see as the 3 big faces from back then that really stand out to me. They were people who were really trying to grow that kind of audience for the modern day, which in their case was 2018 and 2019. So, like, you know, a few years after Leafy had kind of fallen off. Scrubby is someone I've known about for a long time, actually. Not super well, but, you know, we were friendly before he blew up, and even as I was ragging on him, he kind of just took it in stride, which I appreciate because despite the fact that I shat all over his videos, I actually like the guy. And when I've needed to talked to him or ever needed some advice on something, he's been very willing to talk to me, and I appreciate that. Scrubby's channel had like 200 subscribers, I think, when I met him, but within half a year, his channel went to around 300K, and he really just kept hitting milestone after milestone after that. His audience was huge, and he was really bringing that sort of leafy energy back to YouTube. He reacted to cringy feminists, and he shat on, you know, annoying children and whatever. He definitely had, you know, the formula down. And some of his topics, to his credit, were kind of intriguing as well. Benji was a lot younger than Scrubby. I think he's like a year younger than me, so he would have been around 15 the time that his channel blew up. I think he actually was like 14 when he hit like 100K. And he had more than Scrubby for a long time. Although you can definitely tell that the insults of him being compared to Leafy bothered him a lot at the time, because like he would make like videos. There might have been 2 of them, actually, where he would get ass mad about it. I doubt it bothers him now, and I don't fault him for it or anything. You know, he was just a little kid. It's just kind of what happens when you're like 15 and you get a huge audience and then get called a ripoff.
How does that make me a Leafy clone? But like, since when did Leafy own CSGO or CSGO Surf? I'm pretty sure CSGO was made by Valve. Pretty sure most of the surf maps are custom made by a lot of people. So I'm pretty sure Leafy has no rights to any of that. But yeah, I still get those comments, and I'm assuming all of those comments are from stupid 11-year-olds that are brain dead, because really I can't really take them serious. Because if you're that brain dead to the point where you think this YouTuber,
And then there was Aiden. Aiden Projects is really like a weird case of a kid. You know, he really interests me. I remember when his channel name was Aiden Projects, and he made videos in his bedroom, which were like usually face cam from what I remember, and he was trying to be like this more essay style channel who exposed people. One of the videos he made was about this guy named Loki, who we both mutually hated at the time for a variety of reasons, and I think that was the first video I saw from him. He had like 200 subs, I think. And that video might have had like 400 views. And I was sort of friendly with him at the time, and then he managed to get into some controversy which blew up his channel. It really benefited him in the long run. Basically what happened was, a lot of you will remember the YouTuber Chubbs. He was a big commentator back in the day, friends with Alex and all those guys. Channel had, I don't know, 700K, 800K at its peak, I think. And he was making videos that would be like, you know, the cringy feminist, you know, he'd talk about BuzzFeed, this bad Netflix show or something. He had a series where he would like parody YouTubers like Tana Mojo and stuff like that. He basically figured out what worked and he did it, you know, he kind of did it to death, and it got him places. But Chubbs ended up offering Aiden some editing work, I believe, and then he just ghosted him, just didn't fucking pay him. And Aiden, like, contacted him time and time again. Chubbs didn't get back to him, and so Chubbs was like, okay, you know, you're not getting your money. I'm just gonna ignore you. And Aiden was like, okay, well, I'm gonna fucking tell Drama Alert and people like that. And so he did, and I never made a video about it that I think blew up at the time. Keemstar talked about it on Drama Alert, and he fucking blew up Aiden's channel overnight. This 13-year-old went from like 200 subscribers to more than 150,000 in 24 hours. Pretty crazy how fast his channel blew up. Right after that, though, Aiden kind of had like an identity crisis of what he wanted his channel to be. He went through some weird phases on his channel, one of which was like, hey guys, we need to make commentary great again, which I think was mostly fueled and inspired by Keemstar at the time. I remember he did a video where he shat on Wild Spartans, who was a common kind of target at the time to be like, wow, bad commentator, which, you know, fair enough, he was a bad commentator. He sucked.
I can't thank him enough, and all these people coming to my channel seeing my work is great. But I have realized the only thing most commentators see in their friends is sub counts. A lot of these commentators get into Discord group chats, mic spam, talk shit about people, troll people. It's genuinely awful.
And then he made a video about Tommy C, but eventually he got rid of all those videos and made a bunch of videos where he got like millions of views each, and these were definitely like the leafy videos. What set Aiden's videos apart was, you know, he kind of had a cool aesthetic. He was going for the vaporwave thing, but he'd like have like game footage, and he had some decent editing and transitions that kind of made the video feel really smooth, rather than just like this kind of really amateur thing like what I do. And he would just react to like cringy retards from Dr. Phil or whatever. Triggered Tro is someone I forgot to mention, but he did Dr. Phil video after Dr. Phil video. He really blew up from videos about people like Whoa Vicky and fucking Bad Baby, you know, that girl, fucking cash me outside, how about that? And his channel blew up, and then he just kind of quit, and I think to this day no one really knows where he went. But going back to Aiden, I think he's removed some of his like lower performing videos, but regardless, from the ones that did blow up, which I believe one of them has like 20 million views or something like that, he definitely made some crazy AdSense off of them. But now Aiden is also inactive on YouTube, so, you know, there's that, I guess. Back in the day, Scrubby was getting like 400 to 500,000 views per video. Benji was doing the same. Aiden was making videos blow up every week. Cyrus, someone who we also can't forget, really went for the Leafy branding. He also blew up his channel in like, you know, a few months. He went from like nothing to hundreds of thousands of subscribers. It's really interesting how quickly this like community was formed, this new commentary community of people who were all friends and blew up their channels. One thing I did notice about them that kind of sets them apart from who they aspired to be initially is that they just did reaction videos, and this is an important distinction. A lot of newer viewers to Leafy's channel probably don't know this, but Leafy's initial popularity was really not built off of reacting to cringy kids. The videos that I remember really resonating with me from like 2015, 2016 were his storytime videos, where he'd just sit down for a while and he'd talk about something that happened to him, as well as his rant videos where he would talk about a subject rather than a person. And all of these uploads really built the foundation for his personality and that initial connection to his audience. It's why people cared about his channel at all in the first place. It wasn't just that he was mean to kids, as, you know, some would have you believe. It wasn't just like this overall apathy towards the world and like indifference and like, oh, I'm too cool for everything, you know. There was like genuine connection to his audience because he made videos where he would just talk about himself and his life. And they were interesting videos. He felt like some kid you could meet on CSGO. But if you look at Cyrus or Scrubby, these guys didn't do personality-based videos. Sure, their personality is present in their uploads, but it's sort of filtered, and I think the issue with that is that they built an audience around stuff that they talked about more than themselves. And as a result, you know, when they don't have a super great subject or thumbnail, people don't really watch them and their audience just doesn't care, and that also contributes to their declining viewership over time. Don't get me wrong, all of them made like bank off of YouTube and built large audiences around what they're doing, but their audiences kind of ended up leaving, and you know, their views have decreased to the point where they basically get like a tenth of their subscribers watching their videos, which for a channel that old and the type of content they're making isn't that bad, but that's not what I personally want to do with this channel, and that's not like the direction I want to go in. Recently, a decent number of channels have blown up in the same way that they did. Some names that you may recognize would be Connor Pugs, Decept, Cheeto. Some of these guys have more than 100,000 subscribers, and some of their videos about, let's say, like Dream, do really well. But when they talk about anything else, their videos flop. 11k views on a channel with 124,000 subscribers. It's kind of sad. I almost like feel bad for them because I think if I was in their position and I was like seeing, you know, this great discrepancy between my, you know, sub count and the people that watch my videos, I'd be like, what the fuck? Like, my audience doesn't care what I have to say. They only care about, you know, seeing me fucking dance like a monkey and making the video about Dream, right? Like, that's it. That's the dance monkey dance of their whole thing. And I don't want to be the people who just make videos about Carl Jacobs or some shit, and anytime I deviate from talking about Minecraft YouTubers, no one cares about me. I mean, imagine if one of these guys made a story time video. It would get like 1,000 views. None of their subscribers would give a fuck. The only person I've seen who seems to be doing a better job of this is Poncho, who makes videos about whatever trending topic blows up, which is good. You know, you need that to talk about things that the audiences are looking to hear you talk about. You know, you have to talk about the news a little bit, but he also does reaction videos, and he also does these videos where he just talks about himself and things that happened to him, and there's like a branding going on. He has this like Mexican raincoat joke because that's the name of, you know, like a poncho. You get the idea. You get the fucking joke. He's got channel references, and he's building like, you know, a loyal audience. For some reason that hasn't translated into very many Twitter followers. I don't know why that is. For some reason, none of these guys managed to keep any like consistent following on Twitter from their channels. I don't know like what the fuck happened with that, why the conversion rate is so low. Maybe their audience just doesn't care about Twitter, but at the same time, I feel like they would because, you know, they're talking about drama that happens on Twitter with Dream and people like that. So I really don't know why no one gives a fuck about what they have to say on Twitter. But Poncho, you know, does a pretty decent job. I actually kind of like his videos. I like what he's doing. And that kind of brings me to like the conclusion for this video and what I want to do with this channel. You know, I don't want it to be like every 10th video gets 1 million views and every other video gets like 5,000, you know, on a channel with like 100,000 subscribers. I don't want that to happen. I actually want that loyal audience, and I want to have like a connection with you guys, and I treat that seriously, as gay as it may sound for the content that I'm making. The reason why I made this channel at all is because, you know, this is like my personality. I'd have like calls with people, or be talking to people IRL or something like that, and they'd be like, Tom, you know, I like your videos, but I feel like, you know, they're so heavily scripted and written, and they're so informational that it's not really just you talking at the end of the day. You know, it's kind of filtered, and my main channel videos are my personality, but there's also like an artistic angle to it, and that's not what I'm doing on this channel at all. Over here on Tomdark, I'm basically just like rambling about bullshit. This is just like, it's like I'm having a conversation by myself, but that's what I want to do and I want to get better at that. That's also why I decided that, you know, the Half-Baked podcast would be a good idea. First of all, there was no audience that could get off on like a commentary podcast. It was really just RFC, which is good. I like what Augie's doing, but that's not a pre-recorded podcast. It's not the same thing. So I was like, okay, Hot Wet Soup isn't here. Baited isn't here. The Trending Topic podcast isn't here. So it's time to do fucking a podcast with me, Nick Diorio, and Vega. And that's what we're doing over there. We're just like, you know, having banter. And this channel at the end of the day is like just banter with myself. I want it to be my personality and how I feel, and less about the information that I talk about. I want it to just be about like my take and kind of, you know, you get the fucking idea, okay? You know what I'm saying. I don't need to repeat myself again. It's why I do the storytime videos here as well as the drama videos, as well as, you know, the meme videos, which I will go back to doing. Those aren't over, but for now I just wanted, you know, them to take a back seat to getting this kind of content off the ground. I want an audience that cares about me and what I have to say, and I also want to talk about trends and what's happening on YouTube right now because it's what I find interesting, and it's what my audience knows me for. I kind of am trying to bridge that gap between talking about the trends and what YouTube cares about and what's going on with there. Also, just how I feel and what the fuck I want to do. I just want to fuck around. Usually I don't reveal my intentions with YouTube or my channels, but I felt like maybe this would be a good idea here just to kind of let you guys know the direction that I want to take the channel in and how I feel about it and just kind of be genuine because I feel like I don't just sit down and talk a lot. This is easily the gayest thing I think I've ever said or rambled about in my life, but yeah, I mean, truthfully, that is what I want to do with this channel, and that's my plan for the foreseeable future with it, really. Yeah, that's basically it. I don't have anything else to say. I feel like I've been recording for too long. Follow my Twitter, subscribe to both channels, suck my dick, and bye.